Good evening or afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the City of Palatka Community Development Agency meeting on October 23rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order with the invocation is Pastor Mulberry? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Zooming in. Okay. Invocation led by Pastor Mulberry and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Palatka.
Good evening, everyone. Father, we give you thanks and praise again for another day. We thank you for how good you have been. We pray, God, your blessing upon this meeting tonight as they come together to do the business of redevelopment. We pray, God, that every decision that is made be made for your glory. We pray, God, for the wisdom that is necessary to move forward this city in the right direction. We thank you, God, for every constituent. We thank you for the participants. We thank you for all that you're doing for the city of Palatka. Remember us, God. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Please join me as we salute our great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Palatka,
Here.
Ms. Jackson. Commissioner Warren. Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Campbell.
Present.
Commissioner Davis. Present. Mayor Rivera.
Present. Thank you. We have quorum. Has everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes from September 25th, 2025 from our regular CRA meeting?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. On to public comments. Is there anybody here for public comments? I do have one. Vicky Duke has filled out a card. Please come up, 3 minutes. And give your name and town or city of residence.
I'm ill, so try not to spread any germs. Vicky Duke, Palatka, Florida. I just wanted to thank y'all for continuing to pursue the repairs on the Tillman House. And it's delightful to see that we did get bids turned in. And I don't know if I'll be here for both of the meetings, but I just wanted to thank y'all while I had a chance. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to also at this time include the Small Business Development Center report in the public comments.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, staff, and guests, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Rick Paul, Small Business Development Center, 1100 Reed Street. In front of you, you should see a report from the SBDC. It's really pretty. It's got graphs on it and all sorts of things. Unfortunately, this is the last time you'll see this particular report because the state's taken it over and they'll change the format. But in this particular report, this is for a fiscal year, your fiscal year, not ours, we're on the calendar year. It shows me as a consultant, 3.58 million in impact, 82 jobs created, 24 startups, et cetera, et cetera. And then it goes on to show for the UNF region at the moment, just shy of 40 million in funds raised, over 16,000 attendees to workshops and that sort of thing. So I really like this. I changed this for you when I first got here. I don't know if you remember, it was 18 pages long and just a mess. I consolidated it, made it look nice. They're going to change it up. But anyhow, that's this report. Now, I'm going to give you a little update on my current activities because this is dated. So we normally operate under the calendar year, not the fiscal year that this report does. So for the calendar year, I'm currently a little under this at 1.8 million, but you know how numbers are in statistics. I had a $7 million project, but it got taken away from me. I had $2 million deals that fell through, which I thought were shoe-ins, but I got today a $500,000 one signed. Got another $1 million one in process, but it probably won't come through until January. And I got another 400 or 500,000 in works also. So it depends on how you count it up. We'll see how it ends up printing up at the end of the year. As far as unique count of businesses last year, or at least on the fiscal year, I had 252 unique clients. So far this year, 200. So I'll probably match that from last year. Some of business starts. If you remember when I first got here, it was in June, I believe it was. So I only had 6 months. But a lot of these numbers actually get underreported. But this year I made a conscious effort to try to really shake down the people that I helped for business starts. And you'll see that for this fiscal year, it was 24. And I'm currently at about 26 so far for this calendar year. The consulting hours will probably end up being about the same. The positive notes, I held 11 workshops this year. The most recent one was just about 2 weeks ago, where we had pretty much all the lenders that were interested in lending to Putnam County show up for a workshop called Where's the Money? It was held at the Chamber of Commerce in the boardroom. Count was about 30 people that attended that. I'm also very active in international trade up at University of North Florida. We've got a workshop first thing in the morning, so I'm leaving after this to run up there and get ready for that workshop. One of the things that I've handed out to you is the FRIDA worksheet, and I handed my copy out. FRIDA is the Florida Rural Economic Development Association meeting. This thing is fantastic. It's in Ocala. If you can attend, I highly recommend it. In the past couple of years, I ended up talking with a bunch of the city managers and mayors and so forth from, I believe it's Crestview. They got nailed by Hurricane Michael. I don't know if you remember that or not. Their downtown pretty much got wiped out, and now it's back. It's very positive. It's all fixed up and very, very active. So those are the sort of economic development stories you could, if you go into FRIDA and talk to all these people, you hear how they did it, how they turned their downtown into a very positive, solid place. Anyhow, that's my report. Thank you for squeezing me in. Are there any questions before I run off?
Anybody have any questions of Mr. Paul?
Just a quick question, Mr. Paul. How do you feel about this work?
Oh, I love it.
I mean, and the outcomes.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I get to meet
I
lots of
see the
different
data.
people.
I want to just hear,
Uh-huh.
yeah, your
So-
overall feedback. Are things in place to be successful? Are there things that could be better?
Oh, we could always use something to, enhance it, bringing the identity and reestablishing the identity for downtown. Getting some of these downtown buildings renovated to where they're leasable instead of people just hanging on to them as a trophy. That would be nice. I think we could probably at least solve the downtown space that you have, if it was all fixed up and ready to lease.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
Any further questions? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Is there anybody else here for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. On to regular business. Discussion direction for the November and December CRA board meetings. As you know, we only meet once, the commission, in November and December, and before each of those meetings, we have the Student of the Month ceremony. So apparently we can't meet on either of those days. I don't know if we want to move it back to a Monday for November, as we had previously had the meetings, just to have one, and do we need one in December? So those are the questions, thoughts, anybody?
I mean, we did move to have meetings monthly so that we would be able to
Mhm.
stay at the forefront of a lot of things that we have with the CRA. And I know that the CRA had a few things that were pending that may need to come before us. So I would be willing to adhere to a Monday meeting if possible. I mean, if the need be.
I agree with Commissioner Campbell,
So
and
this-
especially in light of our CRA director vacancy position. I'd
Yes.
like to know how we're going to move forward. Thank
I
you.
agree too. And so November 10th, we have a commission meeting on the 13th, Monday, the 10th. Is that acceptable in November? For everybody? Okay. Okay, and then for December, again, we have our commission meeting on the 11th. Is the 8th, Monday, the 8th acceptable? Yeah, okay,
Thank you.
thank you. The eighth, yes, in December.
Yes.
We don't want to get any closer to the holidays after that. On to regular business. The other item B, award of contract to Plus Point Construction for Tillman House repairs in the amount of $224,900 is the second lowest and most responsive bidder. Mr. Dominguez, hello.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
As we spoke in the last CRA meeting, we sent the bids out for the Tillman House project. We follow procurement. We sent an ITB out. We received 4 bidders. The lowest bidder was Router. The total amount was $170,000. They failed to provide a second reference regarding those type of projects, so they got disqualified for that reason. And then we moved forward to recommendation of award for the second lowest and most responsive bidder on that project, who is Plus Point Construction, on a total cost of $224,900. They were in compliance with everything that we asked on that bid, and we're just recommending to award them. Next step after that will be, doing the contract, start the project as soon as possible. Also, I will say the amount that we have was $300,000 the budget, and we're like under budget. My goal will be that we can use that remaining $60,000 or $70,000 to do some extra improvements. So I'll say that, but it will come in front of the commissioner after they finish whatever they need to finish.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Dominguez Brito? Go ahead.
This Plus Point Construction, where are they located?
They're located in Jacksonville and Orlando.
Jacksonville and
Yes.
Orlando?
Yes,
Okay, just curious.
Mhm.
Never heard of them.
yes,
Did they have the background references
Yes.
that the other people
all
did?
that. And I reached out to them and they were positive.
Very good.
Yep.
Anybody else have any questions, for Mr. Dominguez Brito? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you, thank you. Formalized decision on updating the CRA plan. We had that overview at the last meeting. We have it in our packet. Option 1, expand the CRA and update CRA plan to recognize expansion and identify projects. Option 2, keep current CRA boundaries and update CRA plan. And option 3, keep current CRA plan, update to only address potential legislative challenges. So those are our 3 options.
John Jones, our consultant with
As-
GAI, he is available on Zoom if you have any questions.
Okay.
He did that thorough presentation last time.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Based on the conversation from last time, I think we were, well, I'll speak for me. I was with reference to the number 3 option, based on what we discussed at length and the possibilities of bringing in the new and all of that kind of stuff. I would be in favor of option 3 and only update the legislative options.
Anybody else have any thoughts or questions of Mr. Jones? The other Mr. Jones.
I think a relevant matter was the cost also. What was the cost again, option 2 and option 3? In my memory, it was the difference.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jones.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the CRA Board. This is John Jones from GAI CSG in Orlando, Florida, 615 East South Street. With regards to the options on the costs, option 1 and option 2 was $104,000 for the FON and the update of the CRA plan. And option 3 has not yet had a cost estimate placed to it. It would be somewhere within the $10,000 to $15,000 range.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
the clarity.
You're
Anybody
welcome.
else have any questions of Mr. Jones or any comments, discussion?
Just would restate option 3 in its entirety again.
Option 3 is keep current CRA plan, update to only address potential legislative challenges.
Right.
Anybody else want to comment?
I do have, just to confirm before we move to request a motion for the current CRA plan, we're still on track, or is it still relevant? How much of it has been completed? I know I read it and I have some concerns about where we are with where we're trying to go. And if this plan is in effect for the next,
Year.
how many?
Yeah.
Well, and
Oh,
it will at least be for 1 year.
How long has it been in effect to this point? Is that what
Correct.
you're asking?
Both questions. How long has it been in effect?
Mr. Jones?
have
when was
one
the
more
last
year.
CRA plan updated, please.
Yes, ma'am. The plan was initially adopted in 2021.
Right.
It was finalized in 2020, but adopted in 2021. And it is traditionally a best practice to update your CRA plans usually every 5 years.
Correct, which is what I did read when I was looking at this. I am concerned that we're already at the 5-year mark since it was last updated. And from what I saw in the plan, I do believe there's an opportunity to update it. And I know it's a significant change in cost, but in order to be effective, you have to know where you're going if you're going to get there. Otherwise, any road will take you there. And I'm afraid that we will remain stagnant with the existing plan not being fully updated.
I agree with Commissioner Davis, and we also have the funds in the CRA budget to do this. So the money is there and possible. And by the time this is completed, we'll be well into that 5-year timeline. So I tend to agree. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I do have another question. The difference between option 1 and option 2 again, and I know it's here, but could you just state it for everyone here?
Certainly, option 1 included the performance of a finding of necessity to effectively expand the CRA boundaries. And at the last CRA workshop, the CRA board came to a consensus that they did not want to expand the CRA boundaries.
Thank you very much. And option 2 is updating our existing plan with our current CRA boundaries.
That is correct.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, as I recall, we were talking about the CRA expansion. And the cost that's associated with it. We have 1 more year on the our current, excuse me, update with our CRA plans. I thought that we came to a consensus that we were not going to spend that kind of money and finish out this year, knowing that we're going to be doing it next year, basically for another 5 years. So spending $10,000 to $15,000 would be more palatable than spending $104,000, which really we had talked about the boundaries. We did not want it to expand in areas that majority that we were talking about expanding was PHA properties. So that was the crux of what we were talking about. So it made sense in that conversation. So to go back now and say, we're gonna spend $104,000 to look at it again right now, I don't think that's the right thing to do. That's just my opinion. And I know they had lengthy conversations the last time we left here, as Commissioner Kimmel brought that up.
Well, Mayor, in that context, so and maybe I'm jumping the gun a bit because we're talking about what to do with the remaining year. Or,
Just the remaining
I mean, I just want to make sure.
We're talking
for
about
the
updating the plan, correct, Mr. Jones? And that what is the timeline process for updating the plan approximately?
The timeline for updating the plan, we would initiate the work in January of this year, and then it would be completed for adoption in October of next year.
So just in time for that 5 years.
So thank you, Commissioner Jones, for that clarification, because it was not my intent to say do any work for this additional year, other than what we came to consensus on. I was really thinking about the upcoming year,
Which, yes,
which
so
is,
this would,
which falls into the timeline that we're discussing.
this update
Okay,
would fall into
thanks.
the timeline by the time it was completed. And it would be just within that 5-year period, so we'd have a new plan just in time to start the next 5 years, essentially, so. Anybody else? How would we like to proceed?
I move that we proceed with option 2 as presented in our packet for updating the CRA plan.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell,
Nay.
Commissioner Jones,
Nay.
Commissioner Palatka,
Yes.
Mayor Clear.
Yes. 3-2, so the update of the plan was approved rather, and keeping the existing CRA boundaries. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen of the CRA Board, we look forward to working with you.
On to financial reports, Ms. Pierre.
Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Presenting 2 months, both August and September 2025. So for the year ended, I'll start with August. For the month ended August 31st, 2025, total revenues received year to date are $931,104, consisting of funds received from Putnam County as well as the city of Palatka share. Expenses and transfers are $334,394, netting a year-to-date net result of $596,709. The total Community Redevelopment Agency's budget is $2,188,830, and that's 43% has been realized in revenues and 15% has been realized in expenditures. For the month ended September 30th, 2025, total revenues received year to date, $931,104, and that consists of the Putnam County as well as the city of Palatka share. Expenses and transfers of $507,007, netting a year-to-date net result of $424,096. The total Community Redevelopment Agency's budget, $2,188,830, and that's 43% that's been realized in revenues and 23% has been realized in expenditures.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions of Ms. Pierre? Thank you. City Manager verbal report.
Yes, the most important thing for the CRA is that we are in the midst of transition. Our current CRA coordinator is no longer with us. Temporarily, myself with the planning director, we are continuing operations and moving forward. The position has been posted. We've also identified a new vendor to help us with beautification of St. John's Avenue. So you should start seeing even more services with landscaping. For consolidated property, we are looking at that even more with short-term and long-term usage. I didn't want you to think that we had forgotten that. We are indeed dealing with that. A report will be forthcoming. And as it relates to our lead sign, our anticipation is that it will be completed by November 2nd.
Thank you.
I have-
Any-
One more thing on the city manager's verbal.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. So glad to have our city attorney here and also the police department. We want to bring you up to date with something with the police services in the CRA district as well. The button.
Can you hear me? Okay. Commissioners, and Mayor, thank you for letting us get up here and speak to you guys tonight. We are here to present just a quick overview of what the CRA team is doing or has done in the last 30 days, specifically for September of 2025. The CRA unit engaged in several community-focused initiatives. And along with those initiatives, they have continued their daily foot patrols in the business district, as well as the North Side Historic District and the South Side Historic District. Along with those patrols, they have continued to do their motorized patrols in their patrol vehicles. They've utilized bicycles, and they've also utilized our side-by-sides for those activities. Some of the community-focused initiatives that they have done during that 30 days is a collaboration with the ViStar Community Credit Union. The credit union has a volunteer team that about every quarter goes out and does something in the communities in which they have their branches. They team up with us quite often and go into the community, and we do cookouts or events at some of the schools. This event was held at the Putnam Classical Academy, where the COPS team, the CRA team, members of our command staff and our patrol division all engaged with about 100 students. We had some snacks with them, answered some questions that they had concerning law enforcement and what we do. The other event, or another event that they participated in, was the Putnam County School District's College and Career Night. During this event, they engaged about 750 students and parents, and were able to provide students with materials concerning if they were interested in law enforcement, what do we do and how do we do it? And how would they go to the academy and get involved in law enforcement? They are also able to provide information on other public services that we have in our neighborhood. They've conducted some interviews, radio interviews with WIYD as well as 91.3 Hope FM, where they talked about current events. That was in September, so the events would have been for here now in October. Events like the Fall Festival, Trunk or Treat, the high school's homecoming parade, things of that nature. They also participated in the homecoming parade, helping with the road blockage and traffic assignments and things of that nature. They participated in a meet and greet event with the Kiwanis Club and some of our other local businesses. Mayor CRA hosted an event in the business district where we did a meet and greet with the downtown merchants. And we did an engagement with the I'm sorry, I always pronounce this wrong, RCMA group, which is a local school. And again, we had some snacks, answered some questions with the children. The next slide just shows our CRA map and outlines the Main Street area, the South Side Historic District, and the North Side Historic District. If you go to the next slide, in that 30-day period in the Main Street District, we handled 81 calls for service and wrote 4 police reports. The police reports that were written in the Main Street area consisted of 1 report of a inappropriate sex act that we investigated. We ended up doing a Baker Act on 1 citizen that was having some issues. They handled a battery report, and then it ended up making a warrant arrest on a stop that was made. There's 18 calls for service in the South Side Historic District. And 2 reports. 1 report was an information report where a citizen wanted a report written just on some things that were happening in the neighborhood. And the other report was in reference to what we call a suspicious person that was walking around late at night, did not appear to be up to anything good. So they were identified and a report was generated in case something came up missing the following day. If you have not had the opportunity to meet our COPS team yet, I would like to just take a quick second to introduce them. If you guys will step up for me. So Sergeant Quentin Beckton is our traffic sergeant. He's also over our cops team and our CRA district officers. This is Sergeant Beckton. We have Officer Dickerson, who is assigned to the CRA district, and Officer Uriah, that's also, I'm sorry, with the CRA district. They also work with the cops team too, so I get the two units. I get them confused sometimes. But that's the report that we have for the month of September, if anybody has any questions.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you all. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and just a comment, Mayor, I want to thank you guys as well. Community policing is effective and it's proactive thinking, and I'm glad we're getting to, I know we have other issues in our city, but it's great that we can have a focus towards community policing, and it's very noticeable. So thank you for all you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's also that's it, there's in the packet, there's a map, Christmas lights map. Is that something else that was in your report? It's not on the agenda, but it is in the packet, so. Christmas lights map. That's the last attachment. That was it. I do have a question, Mr. Verrecchio, if you would like to come up, about the Christmas lights. Do we have the electrical connections to make them work this year?
We do not.
That's what I
We're in the
thought.
Exact same situation.
That's what I thought.
However, in speaking with Miller Lighting, up to this point, we had managed to incorporate them to install solar lights in all those positions. Last year, as you know, we put in battery powered lights, and we were going out there almost daily changing
I'm sure.
batteries.
Environmentally not good.
Yeah, good effect. But this year, they are gonna install solar lights to each window street, so it should look a lot better. We're excited about that happening.
Okay, just to clarify, because people are asking, and
Right.
so just to get clarification.
And also, as we complete the streetscape,
Yes,
the
then we'll have the-
electricity will be restored.
Yeah, so for 2026, we should be
Yes.
good. Okay. Go ahead.
Ms. Cardy, for the CRA coordinator, I know you mentioned that the position had been posted and that you and the planning director are kind of pinch hitting right now.
Yeah.
Are there other opportunities perhaps for, I'm going to use the word outsource, that's probably not the right word, but are there other options for having that role filled?
There are, and we have been looking at that. We have not yet decided to move forward with it,
Okay.
but we have investigated that option as well.
And do you have a timeline or target timeline for which you're tracking to have this position filled or make that decision?
Yes, we are trying to have that position filled by November 15th, not later than November 30th.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I do have a little reservation about the potential to contract it out. I think it has to be a face that's available in downtown to the merchants and the residents of both neighborhoods. I think that for the program to work correctly, I think that's important or key.
And those are some of the factors that we
Yeah.
have been considering
Anyway.
as well.
So why consider something if,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm throwing it out there.
why,
I just
why are we
want to-
considering something
this
that is
position
not a
won't work.
possibility?
Okay, one of the reasons is because we actually received
Yes.
an email from someone that was interested in being contractually involved. And so therefore, we looked at it and just decided that at this stage of the game, it was so effective, the way how we have it designed right now. We prefer to keep an employee in that position.
And I agree, and I
Mhm.
think, again, for that response by email, the person is in Jacksonville, yes, they can come here a lot, but it's not the same.
And I have a question slash statement slash, I made this before and it was around homecoming town. If you notice when you're driving up and down St. John's Avenue during the time of the homecoming parade for Palatka High, the banners that hung kind of woke downtown up. And I asked this, last year after homecoming, after seeing, is there a possibility that we can look at CRA funding to see about getting signs? I don't care if they just say, welcome to downtown Palatka. That just helps wake up the downtown and it gives you another visual to look at as you travel up and down St. John's Avenue. So if we can, take in consideration and possibly do something with the changing of the seasons as well.
Okay, thank you.
I think we've been talking about that for a long time.
Yeah,
It would be, it would be nice to finally have it come to fruition. There's all sorts of possibilities if you go to other communities. There's the holidays, but there's also historically important individuals up there. Or, you know, you can do all sorts of things, so that would be great.
Okay, I will follow through.
Thank you. Any other questions? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chair,
Oh, go ahead.
I
Go
want
ahead.
to just shout out to the city of Palatka. We, at the Board of County Commissioners, we had a very unfortunate incident on Sunday night where I don't yet know all the particulars, but I think the city PD is investigating. A lady lost control of her car and she rammed into our building. And had the lady that normally works that desk been sitting there, it was a blessing that we were closed because she would have been very badly hurt if not
Oh.
lost. Anyhow, the city of Palatka Fire Department jumped in, came to our rescue, brought supplies and closed up the hole after we got the car pulled out. And I just want to say thank you very much on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners for jumping in there and being a team player.
Well, we appreciate it, and we certainly know we have the best police and fire department
Yes, we do.
anywhere.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have a motion to adjourn, so we are all set. Thank you. Have a good
Thank you.
afternoon. Thank you for being here. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the City of Palatka City Commission meeting on October 23rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order, starting with an invocation by Pastor Mulberry. Okay. An invocation led by Commissioner Campbell and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Davis.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy that you have bestowed upon us as we go throughout this meeting, God. We ask that you give us the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding to make sound decisions to help move this city forward. We also pray that you cover every citizen in the city of Palatka. We pray this prayer in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in saluting our flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Davis,
Present.
Commissioner Campbell,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Here.
Mayor Pereira.
Present. We have quorum. Thank you. Has everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes from October 9th, 2025?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. On to public recognition presentations. In the spotlight, Employee of the Month, Ms. Jones.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, thanks once again for affording us this opportunity to continue to recognize our employees as they just over exceed in things that they're doing as it pertains to their job performance. This is our into our third year. And so I would just like to recognize for this month's Employee of the Month, Mr. Alex Romero. Okay, so I guess I will have to talk because I nominated him.
No, you can stay.
So, Mr. Romero has been with us for 1 year as a planning clerk. And during that time, I've seen outstanding contributions and exceptional service to the planning department. His dedication to customer service is evident when dealing with the overflow of customers every day, as well as assisting coworkers with task completion. Alex has a remarkable work ethic that governs his behavior while conducting the business of the city of Palatka. His ability to communicate in 2 languages is an asset to the organization and to citizens that are not well versed in English. I believe that Alex embodies the spirit of Employee of the Month and deserves to be recognized for this exceptional service.
You might have. Want to say something? Do you want to say something?
Give you a speech.
He'll die. We'll confuse him.
Something, you know.
Yeah.
All right. I'm truly honored to be recognized as Employee of the Month. This recognition means so much to me, not only because of the award itself, but because it comes from a team and organization that I've come to deeply respect. When I first started here, I didn't have any formal experience working in government. There was definitely a learning curve, but thanks to the patience, support, and guidance of my supervisor and colleagues, I was able to grow, learn, and find my place. I'm grateful to work alongside people who are dedicated, collaborative, and committed to serving our community every day. Every success I've had here has been a shared effort, a reflection of teamwork and encouragement that make this such a great place to work. This recognition truly motivates me to continue learning and contributing in every way I can. Thank you all again for this honor, and I am proud to be part of the city of Palatka.
Lorenzo, who's coming up?
If I may, I just want to
Yeah.
add a few
Okay.
more words.
Come on, Sonny. Come on up, Sonny, though. Go
I
ahead.
just want to thank, Alex, for his dedication. Like he said, when he first started with that, he didn't have the experience, but I can attest, that he has grown so much in the job and he's becoming my right-hand man. And I really do appreciate, we're all very proud, of him. And the planning department, looks well because of him, and that reflects also the city. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On to our next item on the agenda, World Interact Week. New hires. Oh, I'm so sorry. I missed the new hires. Who do we have? Come on, this train.
Hey, so our new hires, we have Miss Peggy Bauman, a grant accountant in our finance department. Finance specialist 2, Miss Brandy Robinson. Our procurement specialist, Miss Lenora Campbell. Firefighter Evan Hurst. The water plant operator trainee, Mr. Zachary McCann. Fire inspector John Silva. And a sanitation driver, Mr. Mark Webb.
Hey, welcome, everybody.
We'd like to welcome all of our new hires.
Thank you. On to the World Interact Week proclamation. Whereas Rotary International is a global network of service clubs whose members dedicate their skills, talents, and resources to meeting the needs of communities across the world. And whereas Interact, a Rotary-sponsored program, empowers young people aged 12 to 18 to engage in meaningful community service, develop leadership abilities, and gain a deeper understanding of global issues, fostering a sense of citizenship and responsibility. And whereas the term Interact is derived from the combination of international and action, embodying the spirit of young individuals who are committed to making a difference locally and globally. And whereas the first Interact Club was established on November 5th, 1962 at Melbourne High School in Melbourne, Florida. And since then, Interact clubs have grown in numbers and impact worldwide. And whereas the Rotary Club of Palatka proudly sponsors the Interact Club of Palatka Junior Senior High School, which was chartered on January 19th, 1965, and has consistently provided a platform for community-minded students to serve their community, build leadership skills, and inspire others. And whereas World Interact Week is celebrated each year during the week of November 5th to recognize the invaluable contributions made by Interact clubs to their communities and encourage others to engage in acts of service and leadership. And whereas this year World Interact Week will be observed from Monday, November 3rd, 2025 to Sunday, November 9th, 2025. This week serves as an opportunity to express our gratitude for the work and dedication of the interactors of Palatka Junior Senior High School. And whereas the City of Palatka extends its sincere thanks to Rotary International and the Rotary Club of Palatka for their ongoing support and leadership in sponsoring the Interact Club, enabling the youth of our community to grow as leaders and compassionate global citizens. I, Roberta M. Correa, Mayor of the City of Palatka, do hereby recognize Rotary International and the Rotary Club of Palatka for its contributions to the City of Palatka during World Interact Week, November 3rd through the 9th, 2025, and encourage all citizens to join in recognizing the interactors of Palatka Junior Senior High School for their contributions and to express appreciation to Rotary International and the Rotary Club of Palatka for their enduring commitment to empowering our youth and improving our community. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion to second. All in favor? Aye. With those members of the Interact Club, please come up. For anybody else involved? Ms. Jones? Does anybody want to say anything about the Interact Club?
So I will. So hello, my name is Yvette Jones and I am the secretary of the Rotary Club of Palatka. And these young people are members of our Interact Club at Palatka Junior Senior High School. And they have been busy as little bees working in our community, and they will continue to do that. So here we have our Vice President, Aubrey Richardson. We also have Danny Dunbar, Riley Davis, Analis Tangurian, Ayanat Almate, and then we also have our advisor, Miss Michelle Parnell, who's a teacher at Palatka Junior Senior High School. And for World Interact Week, it's the week of November 5th. I just encourage all of you to think like an interactor and go out and do something in your community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we're going on to the next item, which is Florida City Week. Let me get. My favorite spot, City of Palatka Photography Contest Results. Good evening, commissioners, staff, and members of the public. Tonight, I have the pleasure of announcing the results of the City of Palatka's My Favorite Spot Photo Contest. This contest invited our residents to capture the places and moments that make Palatka truly special in celebration of Florida City Week. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone who participated, those who submitted their beautiful photographs, and those who took the time to vote. Your involvement and enthusiasm remind us of the pride we share in our city. With nearly 300 votes cast, I'm proud to announce that the winner of this year's contest is, drumroll, Ms. Pamela Henderson Brown. Yay! Pamela, your photo beautifully captured the spirit of Palatka and resonated with so many residents. On behalf of the City Commission and the citizens of Palatka, congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. Would you like to say a few?
Thank you all for this recognition. I would like to say that picture was a part of my 50th birthday shoot. I know I look 25, but yes, my 50th, and it was taken by Commissioner Campbell with my iPhone. So this is iPhone photography, but the riverfront is one of my most favorite places to go and just relax when I've had a long day at school or life has just been lifing. I just go and sit and relax. And I love the riverfront. And I was born in Palatka, so I love Palatka.
Sorry. Ready? Mind your words. Got it. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
One more. Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Thank you.
Moving on to Mayor, Commissioner, Community Reports. First is Commissioner Borum, who is not here. Commissioner Jones, do you have any reports to provide or any suggestions?
Madam Mayor, Vision, I don't have any reports nothing to report on any boards at this time. However, I will in the future give all updates to the public information officer to let her present, because I think she put out a publication. This is something that citizens could put in their hand and they will know what the commissioners are doing. And I think it's more appropriate that we're spotlighted in that capacity versus up here, because as you can see, there's not a lot of people that actually attend the meetings, but if we get these publications out to the public and on the website, they will see what each and every commissioner is doing. I see Commissioner Davis is doing a great job. Commissioner Campbell doing the same with social media, but we do have a PIO that should be able to do that and do it at a wider range. So that's my suggestion. That's what I'm gonna start doing, just to let you know.
Thank you. Commissioner Davis?
Good afternoon. I do have a couple of updates. First of all, I serve on the Keys to Home Continuum of Care Leadership Council as a board member. And that is a task force for ending homelessness, which serves as the COC lead agency for many counties in Northeast Florida, but including Putnam County. The COC is committed to ending homelessness in the community by providing strategies and resources and oversight to the homeless response system in the counties and connect individuals facing or experiencing homelessness with information and resources. In Putnam County, there are 3 agencies that serve as points of entry, including Catholic Charities, Lee Conley House, and Heart of Putnam. My role is to support governance, policy, and funding, to review RFPs to confirm if they address the needs of Putnam County, and to provide feedback that represents the needs of Putnam County, and to connect the resources available to our city departments. In particular, we're going to have a connection really soon with the Palatka Police Department and Community Affairs. I will be reaching out to Chief Shaw and Mr. Cutright to schedule a meeting with the COC in the near future to ensure that we have access and training available, which are available resources to our community. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Officer Keith, who's in training this week, for his engagement with the COC to help make our community better. There are several counties, and in the meeting, they particularly called out Officer Keith of Palatka. So thank you to our police department, who's very engaged. Secondly, I am a member of the Putnam County Development Authority. The PCDA was established by the Florida legislator. You heard a little bit about this last week. I'm sorry, in our last meeting from Mayor Carrera, because she also serves as a member, and Commissioner Campbell. But the PCDA provides services such as holding and disposing of property owned by the county, making contracts as necessary as they relate, and more practically, the authority can issue revenue bonds or other debt obligations repayable solely from revenues for the sale or operational leasing under financing agreements that have been made. We work closely with the Putnam County Chamber of Commerce as it relates to economic development. I also want to note that I did complete the Institute for Elected Municipal Officers 1 program, which provided comprehensive knowledge, skills, and tools needed for effective governance, especially for a new commissioner. And I look forward to the next level of training in April. I'd also like to give a huge congratulations to our city clerk, Karen Hayes, who is now a Florida certified professional clerk from the John Daly Institute at Florida State University. So congratulations.
Did you say Florida State University?
I think I said Florida State University.
Great things come from Florida State.
I knew I'd get the response. Also, I'd like to commend our Public Information Officer, Greta Hall. She has been here a short time and is having a major impact on our city, especially with effective communications out. So thank you for the amazing work that you're doing. We are very fortunate to have you, and it's already making a huge impact. And finally, to Chief Shaw, I know he's not here. He's been acting city assistant city manager, who's kept our city moving, our staff motivated. You know, no city is perfect, and we have our challenges, but I will say we have an amazing team, our staff, our departments who keep things going in spite of. And that's what it's all about. And I want to thank you. Thank you doesn't seem sufficient, not only to him, but to our staff and who could have been majorly disrupted, but kept things moving. You are truly appreciated, and our city is better because of the leadership that we have. So thank you all very much. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. On to city manager and administrative reports, public information officer update.
Hello, it seems appropriate for today. My 90 days is officially Monday, so welcome, happy 90 days. I just wanted to give a brief overview of some of the things in my first 90 days that I've been able to work on and map out and plan. I just wanted to kind of go over my core responsibilities as that communication liaison, the content management and everything that's involved in that. Promoting the city. I always tell my main mission and my job is to promote and to protect the city of Palatka, the men and women who serve her and the men and women we serve. So I'm really much dedicated to that mission. I'm very proud to be here and I'm happy with a lot of the progress that we've had, especially over the last 90 days. The second slide where it says our social media matrix. I can break this down and I'm going to be putting out a annual, basically analytics report on social media. But just to give in the 90 days that we've had a 2% increase in views over our last 90 days, with a 3.2 increase of followers for just the city's Facebook page. As you look at the other parts and elements of it, I've got Palatka Fire Department that we also manage, the police department and recreation and cultural arts. I will give a shout out to the cops unit with the PD and with Jessica and her crew over with community affairs. They assist with theirs. If something pops up on a random, they'll go ahead and go ahead and post it and notify me and I'll share it on the city's site at that point. So those metrics are not just mine alone. Those are also part of their help as well. So this is kind of a good way to keep and kind of look at what's happening for us on social media, because social media is key and a lot of people get their information from that. On the next page, these are some social media campaigns that you're going to see pop up intermittently through the year. Like I said, my 90 days is Monday, so I look at it from calendar year from my start date to start date, or for the first year. And over the next year, you're going to see these kind of pop up on the city's page, the PD's page, and the fire page. These are just some of the things that are really awesome to highlight within our communities and really good elements. You know, the Palatka Cares part, those non-for-profits that work really hard in our area. We want to make sure we recognize them. We also have then and now. I think I'm a history person, so take a picture of where it is now and where did it start at. That's kind of a really big thing when you talk about historical landmarks. Again, and it breaks it down into what would be option for the PD and for the fire department side. So you'll see these little things pop up and you'll understand. I'm literally been running all over the place with the PD cops unit and everything that's been going on. And I will be continuing to be out in the field. So if you see me out in the public, please don't not stop me and say hi. Just remember that I'm really bad with names because I come from fire department where we had rank and name on our uniform. And so I have a hard time matching faces to names. One of the other big things that I have really started to hone in on is auditing the existing city website. There is a lot of information that needs to be gone through. There's a lot of information that does need to be changed, and we are going to be changing it visually. The visualization of this page will become more simplistic. It will be very easy to navigate, and that's kind of key. There are things that we haven't been using or haven't used in a really long time that you'll start to see these alerts start to come out now, and that's the alert center, the notify me, and the newsflash. These are things that either some of it hadn't been used every now and then, one of them had never ever been used. So we want to incorporate the parts of our website that we haven't been using and utilize that to get information out to our community about our events, notifications, those kind of things. One thing I am really excited about is that if you go to the main page of the website, there is a community events calendar. I put out a call out to local organizations about events. I had a great response. Everybody is still sending me events. I'm adding them to that community calendar. So we have a place for our community and visitors and residents to go that kind of shows what's going on. So that's kind of a really big deal. I was really happy with the response on that. We do have some events coming up. We're going to be doing dedication and reopening improvements, kind of ceremonies throughout the city. These are the locations that we'll be scheduling these in the future. We want to make sure that we recognize not only the commission who's authorized the improvements for these parks, but also the men and women who worked it really hard in putting those projects together. That's definitely something to be very proud of. So we definitely want to highlight everybody that's been involved with those. So you'll start to see invitations out regarding those dedication ceremonies. 90 days is 90 days, but heck, let's add some more projects on. So a couple of the other additional projects that I am working on, we are updating the branding consistency. So there was a branding product done. I'm going through it and basically looking at all the documentation and colors, type, the fonts and everything, and putting together a cohesive, usable document so that we can become a lot more professional in our appearance and utilizing that branding consistency to be able to move forward and still continue to look very professional. The employee photos, we'll be redoing all of our employees' headshots, and we'll also be updating everyone's ID cards. So we'll be doing that. That will be next couple of months so that all of our employees will be credentialed, and that's necessarily for safety reasons as well. If they're in a city building, they need to be able to prove they work here. Some of the inherited projects were the LED sign that is due to start installation on the 28th, barring anything weird. I do have a slight recommendation that wasn't discussed in anything that I found that we'll bring to the table later, and that's just beautifying the base of it. When you come over the bridge and you see all the green on the left-hand side, it would be really nice to have some type of greenery around the base of it, other than just be the sign in the parking lot. So that's something to look at in the future, but I just thought curb appeal, that's kind of a really cool thing to add. The GoGov app, we've launched that, and we are going to continue to promote the GoGov app for notifications for our residents to have. Again, you can't tell people enough what's going on. We want them to be informed. And last is the building relationships. It's my job to promote, but it's also my job to represent the city of Palatka. We have reached out and we've had meetings with area PIOs from a lot of these organizations where the logos are shown. And we are working hard together to create a community where we can share our events so that our leadership, along with their leadership, can be supporting each other, because that's what community is all about. I had a great opportunity. I've been walking down and meeting all the business owners downtown, which has been very entertaining, very interesting, and very educational.
One way to describe.
So that's kind of really big too. So, and the last thing is creating those positive relationships with area media organizations. My job is to be a liaison with them, and I will promote a healthy relationship with all media contacts in the region, because in the end, we tell our story, but then again, they tell the story we tell. So we want to make sure that our story is getting out there. Other than that, that's basically my first 90 days in a nutshell. And my goal is to continue to grow and be able to produce quality work that you all are proud of.
Thank you. We really appreciate everything you've done. And speaking of the landscaping, can we put that on the next CRA agenda to discuss funding for the landscaping around the sign? But no, thank you for everything.
Anybody?
We've all noticed a difference.
And she neglected to admit that, or to remind all of us that she's in charge of our radio promotions, and she's just doing a lot in the community.
Thank you. Financial report for September 2025, Ms. Pierre.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me pretty well?
Yes.
So I'm going to go through the unaudited results for operations for a period ending September 30, 2025. Please note that the annual, well, I'll wait for you to pull it up on the screen. Okay, so yeah, you could, okay, you could leave it there. Please note the annual budget has been divided equally into 12 periods for the purposes of this presentation. Actual cash flows may not follow this linear pattern of receipt or expenditure. Certain special revenue funds that are not part of the budget process are excluded from this report. The report also includes a comparison with the previous fiscal year's results through the same period. This feature will provide the reader with additional insight into all the fund's operations. This report represents the completion of 100% of the 2025 fiscal year. So we'll start with general fund. The general fund revenues year to date are $17,723,923, and that represents 74% of budgeted amounts. The general fund expenditures year to date are $17,702,610, representing 74% of budget amounts. General fund encumbrances are $2,596,033, and they're excluded from expenditures. Encumbrances are a function of the budget used to track and manage future expenditures by reserving funds for specific commitments before they're actually paid. General fund cash and investments are $19.4 million. Palatka's reserve general fund balance is budgeted at 23.3%, and that's exceeding best practice guidance by 6.6%. The enterprise funds do not have a requirement, but are still budgeted at 24.7%. Our airport fund revenues year to date are $2,410,079, and that represents 47% of budgeted amounts. Airport expenditures year to date are $2,300,807, and that represents 45% of budget amounts. ARPA funds revenue and expenditures year to date are $409,688, and that represents 26% of budget amounts. Better Place Plan revenues year to date are $3,930,317, and that represents 20% of budget amounts. Better Place Plan expenditures year to date are $4,249,282, and that represents 28% of budget amounts. The golf course fund revenues year to date are $225,680, and that represents 129% of budget amounts. Golf course fund expenditures year to date are $190,842, and that represents 109% of budget amounts. Sanitation fund revenues year to date are $3,627,231, and that represents 91% of budget amounts. Sanitation fund expenditures year to date are $3,133,993, and that represents 78% of budget amounts. Utility fund revenues year to date are $12,519,826, and that represents 48% of budget amounts. Utility fund expenditures year to date are $12,427,579, representing 48% of budget amounts. Tax increment funds revenues year to date are $931,104, representing 43% of budget amounts. TIF expenditures year to date are $507,007, representing 23% of budget amounts. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. On the TIF report, it says fund balances reserves. We don't have reserves in the TIF. Maybe I'm misreading what that is intended to mean. But we're not supposed to have a reserve in the TIF. We're supposed to use the money. So just, maybe I'm not reading it correctly, but to clarify that. It says
Yeah.
1,224,008.
I'm on the are you looking at tax increment fund?
Yeah, I'm looking at the TIF.
Okay.
And it says, that's the under budget, it says fund balances / reserves rather.
Mm-hmm.
And it says 1,224,008. Just, I want to ask, what does that mean? Do we have money? We're not supposed to keep money in reserve in the TIF. That's what I'm trying to clarify.
Okay, I'm gonna look in the detailed packet.
So maybe I'm reading.
Looking at the individual reports.
Yes, I'm looking on the individual reports, the ones that are, highlighted, the columns are highlighted in blue.
So those, oh, sorry. I was just gonna.
It's under
fly back,
individual
so-
fund reports for September, and it's the TIF fund.
Okay, I'm looking at it, but in order to give you the detail on it, there's an attachment. If you go to page 51 of 59 in the detailed packet, there's a breakdown of the.
Yeah, I was just asking simply, if we are holding a reserve, which we are not supposed to do. That-
It's misnamed. I guess I should change it to reimbursements. Most of it
Okay, that
is
would be helpful
reimbursement.
just for my clarification. Then I won't have to ask this question all the time. That would be great. Yeah. Thank you.
Reimbursement and transfers.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
And you may have to remind me for the golf course, because we're 109% over,
Mhm.
our plan for this year to fund that.
The plan
I
for this
don't
year to
remember.
fund.
Meaning, I believe we run at a deficit regularly. Can you speak to the golf course just for our citizens?
Unless you have something.
Well, actually, the golf course is one of the areas that as a team collaboratively, we are really looking into that. We're looking at the agreements. We're looking at costs. We're looking at budget. If you would give us until the next meeting, we would be able to amplify that. Mhm.
And another question, Better Place as well. I know we went over this year. Can you explain?
Better Place went over because there were funds that we spent because of, was that FDOT or something like that? Right, that 400 something thousand, and so that's the reason why that is over.
I just wanted the explanation for our citizens to make sure they understand as well. I know sometimes we talk about it, but I just like clarity
Yes.
for those two areas where we see that we're over 100% in actual versus budgeted.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Pia? Thank you. City manager report?
Yes, today I had the opportunity to go with our Public Works Director. I wanted to be certain that we're responsive to the commissioners. You've always asked us to continually give you an update of what's going on with the Public Works. So if you could, yeah, I would like for him to give just, I think we have something to show you that would let you understand that our intention is that very soon we will start moving administrative staff to the Public Works building. Do you have it there?
That's the
Okay.
plan. So this little segment, that's long overdue, I like to call it positively Palatka, because it's some of the positive things that Public Works is doing currently.
Right.
Give you a sticker.
So,
I haven't stopped.
without further ado, we'll start the slideshow. We'll get into the next slide, please.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the riverfront renovation. As everybody's seen, it's been downtown. There's a lot of work going on down there. And I know, at a couple meetings ago, Mr. Campbell expressed that we're gonna do some maintenance and, rejuvenation to the canopy where everybody sits, which we are. You can see they're out there. This was just today. They're pressure washing it and they're gonna refinish the whole thing. With a clear coat, so it's gonna look brand new. We've replaced some rotten wood. We've managed to rejuvenate it and get it back to where it is. We've taken the picnic tables out. They're getting powder coated now and repainted, which is fantastic. They're gonna look brand new and it'll limit, where they write on it and sketch on it, because with a powder coat, it's gonna be very difficult for them to do that. So that's one. For the next one, we went ahead and to the entrance, you may have noticed there was a weird little sidewalk thing going on there for years with a big rock in place. Well, we removed that because it wasn't ADA. It was 3 feet in some places, a little bit less in other places. So now we finished pouring it. We have another new sidewalk going into the park. As you can see, they've been taking everything out, all the mulch and everything. So it's starting to look like a completely barren area, which is great because they're starting next week to bring that equipment in and start doing it. Take about 30 days for them to do so. Next, please. Okay, so up on the hilltop, where it used to be the slide and all the trip hazards and everything, we poured a slab. There's gonna be a picnic table on top. There's gonna be a safety rail around the front. It's just an absolute wonderful place to sit and oversee the entire park. Plus the view, you can see it's wonderful. So that's coming. We'll be putting it, and it's completely gonna be new sod. That's all gonna be part of it. So we're excited about that. Next, please. So you can see when you come to the park, that one bench has always been there, but there's never been enough benches for families to come down and watch their kids play. So Georgia Pacific had contacted me and they graciously are gonna donate a couple more benches, which is really great. We're gonna pour an extension on that sidewalk and we're gonna put 2 more benches right next to that one, if you can imagine it. And that'll give, you know, plenty of seating right out front, so you can sit and watch your kids, you go up on the hill, eat. You can see all around over the hill, you can see where your kids are everywhere, and that was part of the plan, was to make sure you get as much visibility, because if you sit sometimes in the pavilion, you were unable to see where your kids were when they went across to the other side. So next, please. So this, we're gonna go on to the Public Works Administration building. As Ms. Carty had said, we're gonna get moving, out there as early as possible. What we're trying to avoid is the overall construction is gonna take till about February to complete the whole project. What we're trying to avoid and come up with a strategic plan is to move a little bit at a time. We are currently in a position where we can move our administrative staff out here along with our water and sewer department, and I'll go over here in a little bit. This is the reception area. If you go back one more, I'll just, if you could, yeah, that's, people will come in, the citizens will come in here, they'll have an area to sit down, look at carpets and things down, they can walk up to the ticket window, and we have separation from our employees to the public, which we don't have up to this point. Sometimes people come in and they want to get up in personal. This just keeps everybody at bay and it keeps everybody safe, and that's ultimately what we want. So if you go to the next one, that's the opposite side of the ticket window where they can deal with everybody. You can see we started setting up some desks. That's not the permanent desk. That's what was there when we left. So we managed to keep it. So the entire place has been painted. The next one, please. These are some other areas. That's the break room down in the bottom right-hand corner. If you look, you'll see a bathroom. And the reason why we kept the door open for the bathroom is because it's a point I want to make. Public Works personnel had built that bathroom from scratch. They put in the plumbing, they built the walls, they did the flooring, they did everything, and I'm very, very proud of them. So those are some of the other offices that are ready to go to move into. All we're currently working on right now is IT. We have the firewalls, very important. You know, they have to go through the whole process. So it's all been ordered and is looking to come in the next week, and we'll be up and ready to run at that point to be personnel. Next, please. That is the backside. So water and sewer is in the administration building because of the storage capacity. There's all shelving. It's all shown up. It'll all be installed here in the next couple of weeks. We'll have all that ready to go. And water and sewer is one of the larger departments that we actually have. So to start moving them now would be advantageous overall to the move. It'll be smooth, and that's the key here. It has to be flawless. We cannot interrupt our operations to the city. We have a very comprehensive plan in place. And this is part of it, to get them out there to begin with. As you can see, the floors were all done. It's all been painted. Again, our staff did a tremendous amount of this work trying to save us money. And incidentally, going back to the park, I forgot to mention it. You can hold that right there, thank you. At the park, our crews went down to our streets department with backhoes and everything. Just to put it out there, the installation company wanted $30,000 to go ahead and pull all the mulch out, pull the old equipment out of there. We did it for about $5,000. That's our cost for our tractors and everything. And those guys have been killing us. I just want to give a little special shout out to my streets department because they were maintaining their streets and everything else that they have to handle in the day to day, but they got down there to clean the park. So I just want to mention that every chance that Public Works has to try to save taxpayer money, that's what we're doing. We're doing the best we can. And I think they're doing a great job. I'm proud of all of them. Next, please. All right, so this is the operations office. This is the bulk of the construction coming. It's also a fleet garage. It's all in a big part of the building. If you go to the next one, please. They have started construction officially this week. So those are the plumbers. They are in there and they are, every bit of plumbing obviously has to be in the ground. So it's a lot of concrete cutting. They ran already some snafus, little things here and there, like the slab is 12 inches thick in some spots. I mean, it's a tremendous amount of work. If you go to the next one, please. You can just see how thick the concrete was and what they had to get through. So the next process is they get their inspection, they pour the concrete, and then the walls start going up. Speaking to Thomas May, who's our contractor, they're excited about the project and they really are moving forward. They're projecting a date of February 1st we'll be able to move in. That's kind of ambitious. Trying to hold their feet to the fire the best I can. But that would finish them about 30 days prior to their allotted time on the contract. So that would be wonderful if they could do that. Next one, please. Again, that's just another angle of some of the saw cuts and what they were doing and how they're getting on. Next, please. And I included this slide here on the end. That way, if you're ever out there driving, you understand that the admin office is a complete separate building of the operations office and the garage. So if you drive by, you'll know that the admin office is up front and the operations office is on the backside. And also, that's right. So in Palatka, we have 3 roads that are dirt roads, and they've been dirt roads forever and ever and ever. So we've been trying to work a thing out where we can get out there and get them paved eventually. So this is right off of Mosley. You go up St. John's, just to the right, back in there. It's all back in that side of the neighborhood. We have managed to get it all gravel at this point. So that's step 1 in putting a base down to pave it next. So that is coming. It's been such a problem out there for so many years. The amount of dust in the summer that kicks up, just to live out there, all your vehicles are covered, your house is covered, and you bring it in your house, you're breathing it in. So this first step will eliminate that. And it eliminates the rutting, it eliminates the mud and the flooding back there as well. Because it's very porous, it seeps through. So that's on James Street, Lane Street, Pink Orchid Way. So that's, yeah.
That's
that's
it.
about it.
Thank you. Because I've received several people on James Street. I've received calls. I've been out there a few times to look at what's going on over the last year. So go ahead, Commissioner Campbell.
I do want to highlight or bring to light something that Mr. Joe said, and I think it's an opportunity for the city. I spoke to at that time acting assistant city manager with reference to possibly coming up with some kind of program that will pour back into our employees. As you talk about this cost-saving mechanisms that not only Public Works, but when you think about the fire department and some other departments who labor to beautify or enhance their facilities, it saves the city lots of money. And I think we need to look into a program that will incentivize some type of bonus at the end of a project to pour back into our employees. Because again, if they're saving us money, we should be able to put back into their pockets. As you heard about the cost saving going from $30,000 to $5,000, that's a $25,000 save. So I'm sure if we look at various projects that have taken place, and like I said, I know I highlighted only 2 departments, but I know of the great work that even our fire department has put into the firehouse. It's an opportunity. So I wanted to bring that to the commission as a whole, because I did have that conversation for us to be able to look at it and take in consideration in the future. I think it'll amp up the spirits of our employees, but definitely continue to even save us money as well as they take on some of these projects by themselves.
Sounds like a good idea. Thank you.
Percent support.
Yeah, I think we all would support it, I'm assuming. Thank you. Thank you.
The point that was not mentioned is that we're doing all of this that Mr. Joe pointed out, but we're also going to be within the budget. As a matter of fact, today we were looking at some of the additional work that we would have to do, such as what was the firewall,
Firewall, that'll be coming up.
right, yep.
The county permitting process of making this firewall. And
Right.
we also like to get with additional funds that remaining, the pavement of the back lots. So we don't have
Exactly.
the same issue that we're in this place, but not paving it. But it's looking like we're on track for all that. We'll put that in front of you folks.
Great. And it's exciting because it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So that is
Right.
exciting.
And so in closing, wanted the commissioners to know that we have received additional funding from FDLE so that we could start targeting violent crime, gang, drug, et cetera. So we are starting that process as well. And finally, we are currently working on our legislative priorities. So hopefully the November agenda will include that with the resolution. So we are actively working on that, as well as the comprehensive plan, working with our 5-year capital improvement plan. So there's a lot of activity going on, and all of it is progressive and positive. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go on to public comments. I'm going to open the floor to public comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes and be polite, respectful. Give your name and city or town of residence. I do have 1 yellow card submitted. Mr. Townsend. Good evening.
Who says I can't learn technology?
Uh-huh.
Good evening, commissioners, Madam Mayor, staff, and citizens. I'm here tonight to say thanks. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna read my phone because I've got a lot to say.
How
But,
unusual. Go
all
ahead.
in 3 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
So here we go. I want to begin by thanking you sincerely for your courage and integrity in passing a resolution that speaks to the truth about the economic and health devastation facing Putnam County. Your action, passing that resolution, brought to the attention the impact that not having the Affordable Care Act subsidies will have. Your action demonstrated leadership, not silence, not partisanship, but standing up for facts, fairness, and the people you serve. And I appreciate that. That kind of leadership stands in stark contrast to recent remarks by our sheriff, Gator Loach, in the Palatka Daily News. I quote, "It's absolutely atrocious that we have shut down the government just because of some whiny, snot-nosed brats who want to give money, $200 billion, to illegal immigrants," end quote. Those are not the words of leadership. They are words of division, and they are factually untrue. The Affordable Care Act, federal law, clearly states that individuals, and I quote, "who are not lawfully present in the United States are not eligible to receive premium tax credits or enroll in coverage through the marketplace," end quote. That means no one here illegally receives free medical care or health benefits through ACA. None. To suggest otherwise misleads the public and stokes resentment toward people who are simply trying to survive. It divides our community at a time when we need unity most. That is why your actions matter so deeply. The city of Palatka, you chose to lead, to acknowledge the very real struggles facing families here. The rising cost of healthcare, the lack of access to affordable coverage, and the lasting damage that misinformation does to trust and progress. By speaking truth, you've done what too few in public office are willing to do, stand on principle rather than politics, and I thank you for it. Your example shows that facts still matter, that compassion still has a place in public service, and that leadership rooted in truth can help heal the divides that too often hold Putnam County back. On behalf of those of us who believe in honest, solution-focused government, I thank you for being a voice of reason and courage in a time when both are too rare. Perfect timing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Townsend. Hold the applause, though, please. Okay. Or Ms. Wise?
Good evening. I want to say to the staff of Palatka, as well as to the commission, all those that work for the city of Palatka, I sat at that seat and listened to these reports. I've gone on Facebook and looked at the newest up and coming. I'm hearing financial stability and how our funds are being used and the work of our staff. I just want to say thank you. That shows what this little city is all about. I think we don't give enough kudos to those in the back, in the balcony, back there in the alley that do the work, but it shines a great light on you guys because you see them and you give them their props. Right down to the students of the month, whatever that is, you do not see it's robbery to lift others. I just want to be on record publicly saying thank you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you for caring about the citizens, the staff, the workers of this town that we call Palatka, a town that people look over so many times. And I said it when I first came back home. There's a gem here. Sometimes we have dust on it, we have to wipe it off. I get it. But there is truly a gem here in this city. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart again for standing and making us feel as though that we are all one. Thank you again, and to the staff of all that has done and still doing, thank you for doing what you do when people don't see you doing it. It's good when you can stand in the spotlight and all the light is on you. But for those who went out and saved money for the city, those who's going out with the backhoes down the riverfront. I was out there watching them, so they were getting it. Well, anyway, for those that people are not looking to see, the product is not gone unnoticed. So I thank you again and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Any additional public comments? Seeing none, we'll close public comments. We're going to move on to consent agenda. Oh, do you want to make any comments? I'm sorry.
No.
Go to consent agenda. Does anybody have to pull anything?
I want to pull B, C. I don't need to hear from staff. I want to make a comment and a recommendation.
Okay.
about parade.
Anybody else want anything, any other items pulled from the consent agenda? Commissioner Jones? No. Commissioner Davis? Okay.
Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we accept the consent agenda with the exception of B and C.
We have a motion, second.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you. Item B, adopt resolution 2025 R153, granting a special events permit to Sam Deputy of DPI for the annual Christmas parade, which will be held on November 28th, 2025.
Mayor, we can lump them together. I just.
Okay.
wanna make a statement.
And adopt resolution 2025 R154, granting a special events permit to Gerald Donnelly for the annual Veterans Day Parade, which will be held 11/11/2025. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Mayor, these are parades that the commission generally is a part of. And I would like to see us do a little something different this year and mimic, for lack of better words, what the county does and have one vehicle with a trailer that would allow us to be shown unified in the parade. The county does a great job with it, showing and highlighting those different elected officials. And I think it'll be a great look, and keeping in mind what Ms. Wise has stated. I think it will show the camaraderie of where we're headed with the direction of the commission. And so that would be my only request, that we join forces and be together within those parades.
Seems reasonable to me. So I think it's a great idea. I think we just have to find that truck and trailer and get it going. Yeah, so
That's why I'm saying then enough time for it to be worked out.
we can figure that out. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
And if nothing else, I will make a motion that we approve these items.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, second, further discussion. I'm going to open the floor to public comment. Anybody have public comments on these?
Oh, okay. I ain't know if I had to say something.
Who's that?
That's Eddie, Mr. Cutright on Community Affairs.
Oh, hi, Eddie. Eddie spoke from
Hey.
the sky. I'm like, who is
Yes,
it?
I was trying to reference to Commissioner Campbell. We had already talked about that and trying to come up with a united vehicle or some type of thing to have y'all in every parade and everything that we do. So y'all will be represented nice. This has already been in the conversation with Chief Shaw, Joe, and my staff. So that's in the work. We, like you said, we got to find a nice trailer or a nice vehicle to put y'all in for a regular basis, but we definitely going to put that piece together on every parade and event that has visibility that the commissioners need to be there.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. On to regular business. I doubt we want to take a recess. I'm sure we want to keep moving. Traffic study Viking Manor prices for speed tables.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Here tonight to report the cost that we have come up with so far for the speed tables and signage for the Viking Manor project. We are able to, at this point, obtain 2 quotes for the speed tables. One for what the original recommendation was for 3 speed tables, and then one for just 2 speed tables. Joe and I met after the last commission meeting, went down, took a better look at Viking Street. And collectively, we believe that 2 tables would be more than enough. In my original assessment, I was looking at it from having 1 every other block. But in driving that road a couple of times, I think we're gonna have some angry residents if we put 3 of them there. So I would like to change the recommendation to 2. And with that said, 1 being placed between 3rd and 4th Street, which would cover the direction of traffic coming in from 2nd. And then 1 between 6th and 7th Street, which will cover the traffic that comes in from St. John's Avenue. So basically, traffic would travel about a block and a half, hit the first one between 5th and 6th. They would travel roughly 3 blocks and then hit the second one. I believe that's gonna stop the through traffic over time, but it'll also make it to where our residents that requested these aren't constantly going up and down hills at such a I guess, drastic pace. So for 2 speed tables, through the company that we utilized for the Cleveland Street project, we purchased those through a company called Rubber Form. The speed tables are made out of rubber, so it's easier on vehicles and easier on our roadways. 2 tables would cost, with shipping, $9,278.64. And we have not got our official quote in yet from the contractor. We have to have a contractor install these. But between some conversations that Joe and I have had and things that we have seen, it's about $1,500 per speed table to have them installed. So for not more than about $12,278.64, that portion of the project can be completed. When it comes to signage, Joe has already had his staff go out and install the speed limit signs that are on both sides of the roadway. So that part is taken care of. All we need to purchase now would be the 2 no through traffic signs, one that would go on the St. John's Avenue side and one that would go on the College Road side where you come in through Second Manor. And then 1 sign that would be for no outlet or dead end that would be put at Second. So if traffic does try to go past Second Street, they know that they can't get out unless they turn around. And then we are estimating, we haven't got that quote in yet from the sign company, but based on prior purchases, we can get those signs, all 3 of them, for about $100 a piece with the poles, to where Public Works can get those installed. So the total project should not exceed $13,000.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any discussion on this? Okay, we had already approved moving forward with this, so here we are. So thank you. Thank you. On to approval of 30-day notice letter to the city manager, since you, did I miss something?
No.
Okay, I thought you were saying something, sorry. Since Commissioner Davis kind of took the lead on this, I don't know if you want to take the lead now, go ahead.
Yes, just to provide an update in the meeting and for the record, I received direction after the meeting to not draft the letter in order to not have a perception of breaking sunshine law or polling, because we mentioned that I would draft a letter. HR would send it out to each of us to provide feedback. So in an abundance of caution, I just sent the notes to HR and HR drafted the letter. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Jones.
Okay, so what's in the letter that we have are the recommendations that the commission was in agreement with our Monday special call meeting. All of the different outlines that would be tasks that Ms. Carty would have to complete for you all to go back on a post evaluation after 30 days to make sure that she has completed those things in its entirety, so that you all would make a decision on how you would move forward. So what you have before you, and there was no feedback or changes. I went over it several times to make sure everything was in order. So I think all of the outlines and notes from the previous minutes are outlined in there as to the recommendations. And we should be able to, and it's set for signature and adoption by the commission if there are no changes that needs to be made.
Anybody have any questions, any changes? Okay. Commissioner Jones is kind of glancing at it, so I'll give it a minute. Any questions, comments? Do we have a motion to approve? No, okay.
I move that we accept the CURE plan letter as presented.
Second.
Where motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. HR Department discussion direction. That was something, again, you brought up, Commissioner Davis, so I'll let you take the lead.
So one of the things I looked at as we have been assessing gaps in the city and what we need to shore up our departments to ensure that we're creating an environment of success for everyone. And one of the areas I looked at from my eyes only is HR. I know we have one HR manager who's a generalist, and currently she is tasked with doing everything in HR with one employee, correct? And when you look at HR for an organization such as this, we have HR is all encompassing everything from employee management to retirement benefits in this case, and everything in between. And with some of our opportunities to course correct that we've had lately, they have had an HR focus, issues for our employees. So I was trying to take a step back to look at how we could remedy that. I know previously when we talked about it, we are not looking for someone to come in for a different reporting structure for Ms. Jones or whatever that looks like. But where I think we have a gap, and this is just a suggestion, what I'd like for us to do is give this to the city manager and the HR manager to take a look at and make an assessment and get some feedback as to how we can appropriately manage all of our HR areas that need to be handled. We have now, how many employees, Ms. Jones? Well, approximately, because I know we have new employees now, and we've
176.
176 employees. And it's just not manageable for one person and her assistant to handle all that is required now. So I would like to recommend that the city manager, along with our HR director, get information on what's best for the city to appropriately handle the, what's needed effectively for our cities. So that's just my input.
Anybody have any other thoughts?
I'm in agreement, but I do also believe that there are some other departments that needs to have this same assessment. And I'll say right off, and she's probably gonna look at me sideways when I say it, but our legal department has a lot going on. And being a formal person that worked in a law firm, it is a very tedious job and it requires a lot of research. It requires a lot of things. And so I said it even way back when we were looking at the budget, that she would benefit if she had a team or someone else. So outside of that recommendation, if you're friendly to it, that we take in consideration other departments that may benefit from a true assessment of operating more effectively and efficiently, to continue to get this great work done.
I agree. And I also think the other position that's the light's been shined on as well during this whole process is the assistant city manager. And I think it is time to fill that position. It becomes difficult. Chief Shore did an amazing, a yeoman's job by stepping up to the plate and has continued to do so, but he has a full role. And so that's a big ask to have that happen in the situation. We need to have things in place. We need to be a professional organization that addresses issues in a timely fashion. So we're not like struggling with some of these things. So I think that position, which is already funded, needs to be advertised and filled.
And one other question, in terms of the front desk, at the city hall, I know we have employees who sit in, and I noticed when I've come up lately, we have a new employee who was hired for procurement sitting at the front desk, but again, an opportunity to see what's the best way to handle that as well, depending on
Because
what's.
that also segues into the fact that we have a city clerk, but not an assistant city clerk. So Karen can't be sick. Karen can't, if
that
she's
too.
sick on a Thursday night, that there's a problem. There's nobody else. So I
Thank you
think
for bringing that up. I
we
mentioned that today.
Yeah. So that's another.
Agreed. That's another
issue.
opportunity
I
to
think,
look at.
again, to make our organization as professional and timely as possible, we need to really look at some of these issues.
Correct.
And I would like to see this be a priority. Because in order for us to maximize productivity, we have to free people up to do what it is that they're supposed to do and keep them from, because a lot of times I'm hearing is a person is doing double duty in some sense. And that's really a liability. So I definitely would want this to be something that we bring back, if possible, at our next commission meeting, so that we would be able to keep this at the forefront of the conversation and possibly have some resolution going or ending the year or going into the new year.
Thank you.
We're
We all
paying
agree. I
attention
think
to
we
all of
agree.
the
Well,
comments. Thank you.
I agree.
Mayor, may I say one more thing too? We keep mentioning Chief Shaw, but I have got to shout out Chief Newcomb because he's been stepping in as the chief of police. And Chief Newcomb, what I want to say is every time I say Chief Shaw, just hear Chief Newcomb. So I want to say it out loud because we recognize that
Well, we
you
appreciate
continue
everybody stepping
as
up to the
well.
plate when
Thank
we are
you.
in crisis. It's good to know. Yeah. Thank you. On to public hearings. Second reading, adopt ordinance 2025-58. Do I need to read the whole thing, Ms. West?
No, you
An
read it the
ordinance by the
first time.
Commission of the City of Palatka, Florida, creating section 46(8) and chapter 46 Code of Ordinances of Palatka, Florida, to be known as the Palatka Sexual Offender and Sexual Predator Act.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Is everybody here for public comment on this? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. First reading, adopt ordinance 2025-57, administrative approval of plots any ordinance of the city of Palatka amending municipal code chapter 74, section 12 to require developers to furnish the city with a surety bond for their improvements upon a plat or subdivision, and amending chapter 74, section 7 through 9, authorizing the administrative approval of plats in conformance with state law SB 784, authorizing the execution and recodification thereof, providing for severability, scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
Right, so this particular ordinance is a result of the Florida State Legislature passing SB 784. And it basically, that bill took out of the hands of city planning boards and city commissions the ability to review and approve plats. And so now it is going to be strictly just an administrative approval done by the planning director. And also there are some very tight deadlines there of a 10-day turnaround time to approve of a plat. We don't have an in-house surveyor here, so that is going to be an expense. We've typically relied on our very generous planning board member who happens to be a surveyor, Mr. Earl Wallace, for his very gifted input on surveys. So that's no longer going to be an option. So this will actually be a bit of an unfunded mandate for the city of Palatka.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
A motion second. Anybody here for public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. First reading, adopt ordinance 2025-59, an ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, establishing a municipal civil infraction process for violations of city ordinances, providing for the appointment and authority of a special magistrate, identifying the local officials authorized to issue citations of violations of municipal civil infractions, providing procedures for enforcement, hearings and penalties, and creating section 46(8) Article 1, Chapter 46 of the Municipal Code of the City of Palatka, Florida, providing for severability and an effective date and scrivener's errors.
I cannot tell you how excited I am.
We can
to
tell.
present this ordinance.
We can tell.
So over the last 15 years, the city of Palatka has been unable to enforce any of the ordinances on its books apart from code enforcement. So we have not been able to issue citations for things like people pulling up to our city-owned docks impermissibly, barking dogs, a lot of things within our code, over 280 provisions in our code that we were not able to enforce because we didn't have a procedural mechanism for doing so. I guess back in the day, it used to go over to the county court, but that no longer happened. And so this is the fix. This has been a lot of work. I want to thank Chief Newcomb, the planning director. I've had a lot of help and a lot of input from a lot of the different departments, and consulted with our local judges. And this has been a long time in the making. But what we are hoping is you will pass this here tonight, and then it will ultimately get adopted. We have to enter into a contract with our existing special magistrate, Ron Brown, who has indicated that he's amenable to doing this. And all of these citations will be going fully in-house in the city of Palatka, run by a special magistrate, and we hope to launch in January.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for all the hard work. Anybody have any questions?
No, I want to reflect you had a question? I want to reflect the excitement. As if you are willing to entertain a motion that we so gladly say, so move.
Okay.
So second.
So second, anybody here for public comment? Come up, Miss Kitchens, and fill out your card later.
Got to keep the energy.
I'm Hickory Kitchens, Palatka, Florida. I'm thrilled out of my mind. Thank you very much. Please pass it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Saying no, we'll close public comment. All in favor? Any opposition? Thank you. Do we have anything else?
Mayor, I know that we took away the commission comments, but I want to bring to the attention, I'm not sure if any of the other commissioners received an email, but we're looking for an opportunity to possibly, it was regarding the real estate signs, and the, I guess, process or the understanding of, or the permitting of certain signs. So I would want to bring this to the attention of city manager, legal department, with possibly getting with some of the local realtors
Yeah.
to get their feedback and possibly seeing what we can do to better
With the signage.
with the signage, verify, because I think there's a little bit of discrepancy or there may be some, questions, but I think if we can get together and try to clean up that, where it would be beneficial to all.
So are you talking about size, design?
Size of the sign.
Okay, that just, as a realtor, I want to know. But because I also am bothered by, and we've talked about this, I've talked about it with Miss West, all the signs planted, the sign litter throughout the city, the snipe signs, which I guess I was told by code that we can't address.
No.
Please just clarify. for me.
Actually, I'm going to ask our planning director to address this particular issue, since there are code provisions that do pertain to signs.
Okay.
It's just how the snipe signs are actually defined.
Yes, and that was my
Yes,
concern. Go ahead.
Commissioner.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr. Gama.
there is a little glitch in our code right now as it refers to snap signs. In the definition, does it encompasses the signs that we see, that are planted on the ground all over the place. It doesn't encompass, the definition doesn't encompass it. And that's the problem enforcing it. So we're
Okay.
trying to correct that by amending the definition so we can include that too.
Thank you, because I know it applies to only those signs tacked on poles and such
Exactly.
right now. But those planted throughout the city, I mean, it looks horrible. It's
does.
sign litter. Yeah, so
does.
that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I don't think there was an intent to remove commissioner comments. Am I correct?
No, that should not have been.
That
in
should,
there,
so
make
those
sure
still
it's
should be
back
on the bottom. But before we adjourn.
Sorry, I was confused.
And if we're thinking the same way, so I thought that
Yeah,
when we
no.
removed it,
Our reports are different. Yeah.
so we're thinking the same way. So I'm not gonna leave you by yourself.
With all that said,
No, I haven't.
go ahead.
This is for Chief Newcomb. They, in my neighborhood, there've been chickens and hens that been going on people's vehicles and staying overnight. It's a huge hen in my neighborhood that will not allow people get in their car.
Okay.
And so we don't have animal control. I'm getting a phone call. What do we do? What can we do? It's a rooster. It's a huge
They're
rooster.
not supposed to have
With this,
roosters. Yeah.
It's-
So we actually do have an ordinance
Yep.
that does prohibit owning more than 4 laying hens. No roosters are allowed anywhere within the city limits. In addition, they must be in a coop. They are not allowed to roam free.
No free
And
range.
so if you can provide code enforcement, the address of where this is located, we can send a code enforcement officer.
In January, they're gonna get a ticket.
He take his turn to all the houses and so, yeah. But, they don't wanna harm him. And, but he is a nuisance. I mean, that sucker's a nuisance. And he's big, he's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, we can send, I can send an officer over there right now. I truthfully, I don't know how we would corral him. I mean, we could have some great body camera footage of guys running around.
By the way it sounds, just trying to go out to a car.
Arresting the rooster.
It is, yeah. But you cannot harm them, right? I'm asking that question, because I want.
Can't harm them?
Ask that off the record.
I want some coverage.
No, cannot harm. No rooster
Yeah,
can be
well,
harmed.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's just like any other animal. If another animal is trying to harm you or you perceive it as a threat and its mannerisms of its approach, then yes, you have the right to defend yourself 100%.
Gotcha.
It's also like any other pet that you're supposed to keep in
That's
your
right.
yard and secure. And
Yeah, and they are, and Jane's right, it's supposed to stay, or Miss West, I'm sorry, is right. It's supposed to stay in a
Coop,
cage or
yeah.
a coop, whatever.
And not supposed to be a rooster either.
Pretty big, huh?
It's the giant rooster.
Yeah, so, okay.
Sierra Woods.
I just want to know, so that I could tell people what they need to do if they're in their yard.
Yes, sir. If you call, well, I guess it's probably out right now. But if we can come over during regular business hours when the county's animal control is over there, we do have a very good working relationship with county animal control. If we call, I mean, if I called them every single day for a barking dog or something, they're probably not gonna come. But for something like this, or, you know, an aggressive animal, they'll come out for us. They
Just get body cam footage.
And I want to see the video, right?
see the video.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
That's the biggest, that's the biggest problem right there. That big old,